Hi, so I'm Gia Marcos, reality TV reporter for The Things, and I'm here with Savannah from Netflix's The Circle Season 7. Hi, Savannah.
Hi.
So I just wanted to know, how did you end up joining The Circle?
So I actually got a DM on Backstage. So I made like a Backstage account for like modeling.
Yeah.
'Cause I did a decent amount in college. And then I got a message from a casting director that was like, you should apply for this show. And I only heard of it before because my roommate told me like months before, you'd be so good on The Circle. And I was like, whatever. So when I saw the name, I was like, I gotta watch this. So then I started watching it, and then I honestly almost didn't submit my application, but somebody else that I knew, a guy, he got hit up for the show, like to get casted. And I didn't want him to go on and me not. So I was like, I gotta get my application in. And then I did. And then here I am right now.
Did you always plan to come in as yourself?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So did you have any like strategies? Because I think if you come in as yourself, it's a little easier, right?
Yeah, this my strategy really kind of was just being myself. And I did say oversharing, like I wanted to overshare about the bad things that have happened to me because nobody would make that up. They would be like, oh, who's lying about having a brain tumor? Like they've got to be real. Because there's a history on the circle of blonde girls that look like me getting blocked first. So I was like, I just gotta make it past that.
Yeah, so speaking of, oversharing and all that, I really liked how you actually opened up about your brain surgery, hashtag brain surgery queen. So could you tell us a little more about that? Because, you didn't stay that long, so we didn't get to hear much of that.
My freshman year, I had been having these like really like weird symptoms. I just didn't feel real. I was seeing things, hearing things, passing out, like just not myself. I was actually like really clumsy too. And I cheered on a competitive cheer team for my college my freshman year, and I was doing awful. Like I'm not like trying to be like I'm really good, but I was just like not doing as good as I knew that I could. But so that was that. I would make jokes about it, and people would be like, "Don't joke about having a brain tumor." And I'm like, think it's a joke. But then we got sent home from COVID, and that's when it really ramped up. Like I thought I was going insane, but the doctors couldn't order like a scan of it because I'd had like 8 previous MRIs from cheering for 17 years in my life. They're like, going crazy. It's COVID. Like, I promise it'll get better. So I just accepted defeat and I went back for my sophomore year of college. And syllabus week, I got into a car accident with my roommates really bad. My bone was exposed like right here and right here. My nose was really broken. Like my face was just mangled. But I should have died in that accident. I know that I say that on the show, but I was in the front middle, like I was in the back middle seat without a seatbelt, leaned over into the front middle seat, and we hit a parked car at really, really fast. And instead of flying through the windshield, which the doctors and the police were all like, there's no way that the person in the back is alive right now, which I was. But because my face was messed up, they had to scan my head and they found it in the very middle center of my brain. It's kind of fast growing. I had hydrocephalus, which is like the increased intracranial pressure in my head. So I had to get it out.
Unfortunately, you got blocked like way too early, and obviously you didn't expect that because you were really ready to just keep going. But going back to that moment, did you immediately think like, oh, Kevin didn't have my back?
So yes, like rewatching it, I thought rewatching it was gonna make me understand a little bit more like his reasoning, but if anything, it made me like less understand it. But I do get like it is a game.
Yeah.
So I'm not too upset about like at Kevin for it. I just know that personally, like my morals, I would have stuck with the one person that I like was an alliance with, which is when I was an influencer, that's why I kept Rachel, is because I had just had that chat with her. But if I wouldn't have had that chat with Rachel, I voted her last. I would have blocked her. But because I had just connected with her, I didn't want to be the person that broke their alliance, which ended up happening to be the next one. So
I feel like the more genuine you are in the game, the more you get kicked out. But
previous seasons. I feel like this is just the first season.
Yeah.
That it kind of
Yeah, I think because this season, like a lot of people are talking about it, it got really like heated this season because there are more like strategies that, the past seasons like you wouldn't see it there because everyone's just being like friendly and everything. So
see, and that's what I thought it was gonna be.
yeah. So speaking of Kevin, so when you visited him, everyone thought that you were going to explore that romance after. So did you guys end up exploring that after the show?
So, like, yes and no.
I like that answer.
We've definitely explored a friendship there. He is probably who I'm closest with from the show. Like, okay, like guy wise, I guess. Ever since the show, we have a Snapchat streak right now from the second we got our phones back to today. It's like 300. It's almost a year of everyday talking. We haven't talked like conversations every day, but we've gone to see each other. We're definitely very close friends. Like that's all that I am gonna put it at.
So, I don't think this gets asked a lot, but where do you like after you get blocked, where do you actually end up staying? Like where do you go?
So after you get blocked, it actually takes a while to like you don't just like pack up your stuff right then and there. I like said my goodbyes to like production. Kind of cried it out with them a little bit and was like, I'm so embarrassed because I didn't want to cry on camera. So I held it until then. And then I stayed the night in my apartment because it was really, really, really late. I didn't really sleep that much. I just cried. And I had a dream that Kevin had to shave his head. And if he shaved his head, that I got to stay. It was my dream. And I woke up to this point. But then I woke up bright and early the next morning and pretty much just threw all my stuff in my suitcase. And I left about the time that my video popped up on the news feed. As I'm walking out of my apartment, I saw Savannah left a message for the news feed. And I was like, please let me watch it. And they wouldn't. But then after I just sat in a hotel, they took me to some fun places. Me and Samson went on some walks. He's like right there.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. So cute. She's just
Yeah. I didn't have my phone though. And I still had somebody with me at all times because I think they were scared I was going to call and be like, will you look up this guy named Kevin that says he's from San Diego?
So you didn't have access to your phone Yeah.
No, I had the production flip phone, which I loved. I took so many pictures on it. That kept me entertained. And then, and then we went and I was allowed 2 drinks a day. So I would try to like strategically, like if we would go somewhere, it was like very secret. Like I had to coordinate with the other people to see where they were taking the other blockers.
I also read a couple of weeks ago that you're still salty about Kevin's decision, like blocking you. So, but like right now, are you guys like fine?
When I say salty, I mean it in like a playful, like, no, I don't get it, but like I'm not like losing sleep over it. I don't care.
Yeah, I thought so because like the cast seems like you guys seem very close to each other. And it's just the fans that seem to kind of create this separate narrative that there's beef. They're like, oh, why are you hanging out with this and that? Yeah.
They don't realize we're going to have to be around each other, whether we do like each other or not. And we do like each other. But no matter what, like it's way more fresh for them. Jadeja actually put in a really good point. They're just now watching it. We've had a year to kind of get over it and think through it, but they're allowed to be upset. Yeah. I'm not going to play into it. Yeah. And I don't think any of us are either.
So had you stayed a little longer, who would you have kept as your allies? Knowing what you know now.
I probably would have pulled a Kevin and tried to be alliances with not everyone, but for the most part. I know I definitely would have stayed in an alliance with Kevin. I would have tried really hard to get one with Gianna. I love Gianna in real life. We're actually like, and then Rachel, of course, even though it was so clearly obvious she was a catfish, we had that first conversation, bonded over that. I think probably the only, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
Oh my god, what was that?
No, 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 no. I didn't want to say anything that could have been like taken
Oh,
hateful
okay.
towards it. There's only like one or two people I think I would have had to like gun for, I guess.
Yeah.
And it probably would have been the two new players, not because they're new, but just because not because like of who they are, but because they were new.
Watching it all back and seeing how the game played out, was there like a twist or some drama that really had you like, whoa, like what is this?
The Darian lie, that was watching that back, I could not believe. And at the finale, you see me and it kind of looks like I'm looking at Darian like being rude about like why Madeline was crying, but I was really asking like what happened
Yeah.
after, because I had no idea. So it was just the Jadeja twist, just Darian and Jadeja both getting booted. Whenever I watched the blog players walk out, I was like, no way these are the people that didn't make it.
Yeah, so basically because after you were blocked, you stayed in a hotel and you didn't have access to anything that would, so you didn't know what was going on back in the circle. So it was just in the finale, like the whole big reveal. Oh, that's
The
crazy.
only person I knew was real was Kevin.
Oh, so
the floor when I saw the twins, I was like,
they played it so well. Yeah, like I was watching it and they really got the whole, Instagram girly character.
they weren't one of those people that come out and they're like, oh, but I was a catfish, but I was really me. Like they didn't claim to do that. They didn't claim to say that. They were like, no, we catfish. They took it. They were proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, I would be proud too. Like they did that so well. So I know, I mean, if you hadn't been blocked so early in the game, would you have also, I know that you wouldn't have stirred the pot, but would you like, because there were, I guess in one form or another, you get kind of involved in the drama anyway. What do you think you would have done like during those, like if you got caught in the whole Madeline and Darian lie, for instance, like how would you handle something like that? Because, for others, like, they were like a lot, Kevin, for instance, was easily convinced that, oh, there's like this conspiracy to kind of like, if everyone, like people are conspiring against him. So how about you? How do you think you would handle it if you were in Kevin's position?
If I was in Kevin's position, okay, this is like kind of hard because I wasn't, but I would like to say that I would go to Darian first and kind of bring it up. But Kevin did make a good point that if Darian really was trying to do that, why would he tell him? So like I do get there being like who's lying, who's not, but I probably would have also looked at both of them as I would have been skeptical of both. Skeptical about Darian's lying and skeptical that Madeline's lying. Maybe a little bit more skeptical of Madeline because I would have been in the game with Darian if I was Kevin. But it really is just hard because nobody has ever lied like that on the show.
So I was also surprised when that happened because when I was watching it, I was binging it, and then I thought I missed something, but then I was like, wow, I don't think this has happened before. I kind of admire it though, because that's really bold. I'd say it kind of changed like for the next seasons. Who knows what's gonna happen, right? But I just asked because I think like it's really unfortunate that you didn't get to stay longer in the game, but I think at the same time, I feel like you're not one to kind of get really involved in such crossfires and everything. So at least we got to fans got to preserve their image of you in some ways.
Exactly. Kind of like I got to leave before it got super duper messy.
Yeah, because I think it brought out the worst in everyone. Like you could see, Deb, Rachel getting all riled up with the whole drama. I'd say the pressure could get too much.
I will say, don't count me out completely. I would have definitely stirred the pot a bit, not blatantly lying. I would have kept my morals, but I would have at least, like, say, if I was Kevin, I would have just straight up told Darian, hey, Madeline's saying this, 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 and this. And then that would just have turned Darian on Madeline, and it would have saved Kevin. So like I would have done things that are like to stir the pot, but not unethically, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you would have like done it just to confront, suspicious things being said.
My morals. Yeah. Yes. Like I would call out if somebody was saying something, but I wouldn't just make anything up.
Yeah, I get that. So I don't think people talk about this enough. So did you have any specific ideas on what you would have done with that 100,000 cash prize?
Yes. I will say that I don't need it like to survive, to exist. Like I probably the $100,000 wasn't really in my mind when I was playing, which is probably also what led to my downfall a little bit. I do have some medical bills that are unpaid. I get some random debt collector text messages that are like, hey, you owe blah, blah, blah for this x-ray. So I would have definitely used that to clear all of that. But I really probably just would have saved it, put it into my business. Just not like a heartstring emotional story. I mean, I guess my medical bills, because I did have to pay for 95% of my medical bills. I had to pay my way through college, pay my way through everything. But I started my own business.
Yeah.
So like it's inspired from that. So I probably would have put it into my business to help other people save and make money. Basically a marketplace. We're aiming towards college students right now. Eventually it'll be the whole world. But for them to buy, sell, and rent stuff like textbooks, fashion, game day, just anything college related, they can join personalized groups based on like their location, things that they're involved in, classes they're taking. So people can sell textbooks for Texas Tech Biology 2350 or sorority girls, because everyone assumes sorority girls are all like super wealthy. A lot of them work like 3 jobs just to pay their sorority dues, just to wear clothes to fit in. So this is kind of taking away that pressure of having to like kill yourself to live a normal college life, like as you would.
So you said that you wanted Kevin to win after he had blocked you because, so that it wouldn't have been for nothing. So I just want to know, how did it feel when you found out that he didn't win?
Honestly, I know I said that I wanted him to win, but I think that was me just trying to be a good sport. Like now looking back, like, okay, yeah, like it would have been nice for Kevin to win. But when it was those top 3 spots, I wanted the twins to win really bad. Just to kind of be like, if they didn't break their alliance with me, like, yes, they still blocked me, but I had just blocked them prior. So it made more sense for them to gun to block me. So I was like, you know what? I would rather either the twins or Kevin. I don't know. It's kind of like if you lose to a football team and then they turn around and go win the Super Bowl. It's like, okay, we were beat by, like we lost, but we lost by the Super Bowl winners. So honestly, I felt fine. I'm just glad that it was the twins. I saw that you guys had your circle rap party recently. So aside from Kevin, Darian, obviously, who did you connect with the most actually among the cast? So me and Jadeja have been like unintentionally besties, if that makes sense. Like what's unintentionally besties like? So we both didn't even realize it till the rap party, but I've actually, I think, seen her, well, technically her and Darian, they're a package deal, but like the most. And I've talked to her the most. It's just been a very natural connection, as in like talking. Like I didn't even realize, but I will call her and tell her anything, nitty gritty details. Like she knows a lot about me. And it wasn't until we were sitting in LA at dinner that we were thinking, and we were like, oh my God, like we're actually pretty close. And then I think after we realized that, we were like, wait, this is so fun. Because it's not like oh, we need to be friends because we filmed the show together. It was just a very natural like connection. Yeah. And then I connected a lot with Gianna the finale, like a lot. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that, like Jadeja's your closest, because in the show, we really didn't get to see enough of you. It sucks. I wanted to talk to her so bad. We both wanted to talk to each other, like get chats with each other. It just, there's X amount of chats. They have to get people to talk to other people. So it just never worked out in time. But I think we really could have been like like a power duo if I was in a little bit longer.
Yeah, I feel like you could have, maybe made it to the top 5 as well together.
1,000,000%.
So, when I interviewed Darian, he told me that you would be perfect for perfect match. And I thought, actually that's true, even just for TV's sake, right? Like I'd want to see you on Perfect Match. So what are your thoughts on that?
I would love to go on Perfect Match. Everybody's commenting Perfect Match and Too Hot to Handle. I'm not really sure how casting works for Too Hot to Handle because I know they used to be like surprised that they were on the show. I haven't watched it recently, but that is the one that I was like, I would love that. But Perfect Match would probably align a little bit better for my morals. It's not as sex based, and Too Hot to Handle is very sexual, and I want my grandma to watch this.
Yeah. Also, in Perfect Match, at least it's basically just kind of a continuation of what we've seen from The Circle.
Yeah. Exactly. I like that it's all like in the same universe in a sense. I do think my love life itself could be its own TV show.
Yeah. And now I'm actually curious. I'd love to see that. Maybe after Perfect Match, you get your spin-off or something.
Maybe.
So if you actually ever make it on Perfect Match, is there anyone from your castmates or other reality shows you would like to, be there at the same time and kind of see how you interact in that different space?
So if Perfect Match is listening, I really hope they
don't worry, I'll make sure to emphasize that.
Well, I don't know if you were going to include this, but I'm really bad because I have brain surgery, brain trauma. My memory has always been awful. I can remember names or faces, but not both together. I could be hanging out with a top rated celebrity and have no idea who they are. So going on Perfect Match, I don't really remember the other reality stars from all of these Netflix shows, which I think would be good and bad. Good because I would be unbiased.
Yeah.
I would be very unbiased, but don't tell them. Not bad because I don't want you to think that I don't watch Netflix. I do. I just have a hard time unless it really sticks. I wish Harry Jowsey would not have gone on season 2. I think I'm a little too immature for Harry Jowsey, but probably just the top ones that are always there.
I'm curious now. You say you might be a little immature for him, but since this is also a competition, right? And a lot of girls kind of want to see someone give him a taste of his own medicine. So I was just wondering, are you going to give Girlie some revenge? Are you going to how are you going to play it out if ever he's there?
Oh, if he's there, I could see myself doing a little bit of revenge, but at the same time, I really am kind of a lover at heart. If he played with me though, then I would that's when it would go off. I could definitely do some girly revenge, but it's only when I'm done dirty.
Yeah.
That
which he is likely to do in but yeah, I think we fun.
Want another season. I don't think I would want anybody from my cast.
Yeah.
I would, but I wouldn't because I feel like that would get muddy. And I want to be able to have these people as circle connections, circle for life. I don't want to disrupt our circle dynamic.
I like because otherwise there'd be a whole other drama. It could get really messy on Perfect Match. So
exactly.
So what's
the only guys are the ones that blocked me on the circle.
So what's next for you after The Circle? Is there do you plan on going beyond reality TV?
So I do we're technically under contract with Netflix. Not we have to do anything, but sticking to their network. So I can't really branch off for a while.
Oh, okay.
So I would be very open to continuing reality TV, but my end goal, yes, my business and everything, but TV wise, I used to be so scared to admit this out loud, but I would love to do scripted acting. Since a kid, I used to scroll down the Disney, casting things.
I was just going to say that. I was she's like a Disney girl.
I wanted to be on Disney so bad. I wanted to be the next Hannah Montana. But I do want to get into kind of scripted, whatever. Maybe by the time I'm 60, I want to have a big movie where I'm the
Yeah.
main character, but I'm gonna have to practice.
Yeah, I feel like, in the next maybe in the next 10 years you would have already done like so much like beyond reality TV. Like, anything's possible now. And I feel like with
And
your energy it's easy to manifest things like that.
God really has blessed me. If you would have told me that I would have gone on a Netflix show even 3 years ago, oh, I would have laughed in your face. Like it's
Yeah.
just so crazy. So that's why I've been more open to opening up and saying like, oh, I would love to do scripted acting and just not being embarrassed anymore. I was
You should
embarrassed.
be, yeah.
I was embarrassed to tell people that I even had a backstage account. When people would ask how I got cast for The Circle, I would be like embarrassed because that's like an acting modeling site. I was like, I don't want them to know. But then I was like, the only people that are going to judge me are the ones that are like below.
That's
Nobody
true.
that's an
Yeah.
actor, reality TV
Everyone has to have their start, right? So this is my last question. We just have like a few minutes. So since you've opened up about this, like, like getting your start and like achieving your dreams and all that, I'm sure a lot of younger women are looking up to your journey as well as your co-stars, because it's not easy to put yourself out there. What's like a short message you'd like to give them so that they'd keep, going as you have, like you've been through a lot. So that would be a lot coming from you.
Situations and how other people treat you do not reflect who you are and do not define who you are. So don't take it personal when something happens or when somebody treats you a certain way. That's them, that's not you. And the only people that do that are jealous, fan behavior. So just keep pushing because that's a good sign.
Yeah, I like
When people treating you bad, that's a really good sign that you're moving up.
I like the whole fan behavior. I'll make a hashtag of that.
Fan behavior is like my favorite thing ever. Talking about it, I think that's fan behavior.
Yeah, I like that. So that's all. And thank you for your time. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of you on TV. Like, maybe if I get to interview you again and like, it would be nice to go back to this and like, admitting that you're into acting and all that.
We'll look back on this and be like,